How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary tasks? Okay, first off, you need to know that the intention of my products for my A2 advanced portfolio being a movie trailer for my main product, and my ancillary tasks as a film poster and a film magazine front cover. My intention basically was to sell and advertise a horror film that I had created through the use of constructing my main product and ancillary tasks. I wanted to maintain a link with them so that I could create synergy and create a large target audience that would be attracted to my trailer and my ancillary tasks, my film poster and my magazine front cover. In terms of Stuart Hall's reception theory, I wanted my main product, my film trailer, to be specifically received as dominantly or preferably scary, because the genre of my horror trailer and the genre that is explored in my film magazine front cover and my film poster is based on horror. This is why in my trailer, during my construction of it, I included close-up shots of a bloody knife. I include general scenes of violence. I also included a rating at the start of my trailer, just like a film trailer would in a real film horror film trailer, to warn the viewers of the violence that will occur in the trailer. But however, my unique selling point was to base a narrative around bullying, ergo make my film partially, in terms of Stuart Hall's reception theory, have a negotiated meaning, because it can explore deeper questions about the film that go beyond the use of violence. As the antagonist in my film starts out as a victim of bullying, who comes back after he's died to avenge his death by killing off the bullies that attacked him. This makes people question more, what exactly is the film about? Is it about your inner demons? Is it questioning who's more of a monster, the victim or the bully? Is it mentioning who's more of a bully, the victim or the monster? Also in my trailer, I wanted my student audience, that's being my target audience, to be attracted to the idea of bullying, because bullying typically will take place in the school. Therefore, I knew that this narrative would attract audience appeal and make sure that my key demographic, which is a Group E, students and young people, mainstreamers, would be enticed by the content of my trailer and would be encouraged also to read the contents of my magazine front cover because it features the film, and also be intrigued by the slogan that I used in my film poster, that being bullied can scar you for life. All of these together was my way of communicating my unique selling point, and I knew that this would be effective as a USP in exploring aspects of social realism, which is quite quite a major genre for especially young people, because it involves young people. The link between my poster and my trailer and my magazine cover, furthermore, was involving the release date. I said specifically in my horror trailer and my poster and my magazine front cover that my movie, my horror film, was come in June 2013. I did this because typically horror films, horror trailers, and horror posters usually advertise films by saying coming soon as opposed to adding a specific date, thereby increasing the intrigue by the viewer looking at the poster, or a viewer watching the trailer online or directly on a television screen elsewhere. I knew that this, along with my magazine front cover, which I wrote at the top of my page, issued June 2013, would again be a good way of effectively communicating the release date of my main product, of my my horror film, through my main product and my ancillary tasks. Secondly, I try to communicate effectively between my main product and my ancillary tasks by adding a pull quote from my magazine front cover to my poster, saying that the film, entitled The Unexpected, the film trailer, was a must-see slasher horror. And in addition, in my trailer, I included a pull quote from my magazine saying the same thing. This would make sure that there was more communication throughout my main product and ancillary task, and strengthen the link between them. I try to effectively communicate an enigma and mystery through my main product and ancillary tasks by, first off, the costume and props of the antagonist, which are specifically a white mask and a knife. I used a knife specifically to reinforce the fact that my film, my horror trailer, was a slasher horror, and I used a mask to reinforce the enigma of the antagonist, as in my trailer he isn't shown in complete form frequently. Therefore it creates intrigue and will attract the audience who are familiar with this common representation of such a character. I was inspired by the character of Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th film series, which is also a slasher horror. So I knew that from this, examples like this, my audience would be generally quite attracted to this. And in terms of the users and gratification subsection theory of personal identity and personal relationships, they would relate to this because they've seen horror films like this before in the past, classical ones. I also try to use tracking shots in my trailer, and I use this in order to create intrigue, and specifically throughout my main product, my film trailer and my poster and magazine front cover, I used close-up shots at eye level of my antagonist. So this would create mystery, and according to Bart's enigma theory, it would attract greater appeal because people are intrigued by this idea of a faceless, violent slashing killer. Furthermore, to develop the communication between my main product trailer and my ancillary tasks, I would use more dim lighting to obviously evoke the image of a classic horror, which is dark, and create that and reinforce that image that it's quite sinister and scary. And I will try to include more establishing shots in my trailer, And as well as that, just in my poster, in my magazine front cover of the setting I filmed it in, and film it in with iconic views that people remember, because we have to remember that in my main product and my ancillary tasks, the mise en scène is just as important as the contents of it. So during my audience feedback for my main product and my ancillary tasks, I found out that aside from the knowledge in my trailer, for example, that the setting was a school because it was filmed by lockers, people didn't know that it was set in a school. And the only other indication was the actors and actresses in my trailer who were young students, young sixth form students, and who were bullying another sixth form student. This and the fact that I filmed by lockers was the only indication. So in my poster and in my magazine front cover, I included general pictures on a wall of a mid close-up of my antagonist, and this only provides an indication that he's violent and he's something to be intrigued by because of his mask. But it doesn't reinforce the fact that it's filmed in a school, and it explores general questions of violence among school pupils. And I wanted to develop that in my trailer, so I know that that wasn't as strong as I imagined in the construction of my main product and ancillary tasks. I tried to effectively communicate theories of audience, for example, specifically the users and gratifications model for diversion, just in the sense that creating a horror trailer, I wanted to create a feeling that people, or the viewer watching it, was sucked into that world that the trailer took place. And I wanted to reinforce this through the use of my main image on my film poster and on my magazine front cover. But I was told in my audience feedback, in terms of narrative, that I did effectively create an enigma by the use of my antagonist's mask and his bloody knife, both shown by the images in my poster and magazine front cover and shots of him in my trailer. This shows that although I wasn't effective in establishing a substantial setting of my school in my trailer, I was effective in creating a general enigma around the trailer, which subscribes to the theorist Bart's theory of the enigma. I also knew that in terms of Freud's uncanny thesis, that I created the feeling of strangeness and intrigue that my audience were enticed by, because I was told that they were generally attracted to the whole sinister feel of my trailer.